Okay, welcome back to episode 5, I believe. It's getting hard to keep track of what I'm recording and which episode it's supposed to go into. Yeah, I think this is episode 5, so we finished off the last one, if you watched it, making a fishing hut, which I think turned out really nicely. I did some more fishing off camera, didn't get anything spectacular. It was really that bow, if I remember, and some books, which are worth keeping. And we'll end up getting a better rod with time. Today's episode, I decided, because we hit level 30 thanks to the fishing, it's time to do some enchanting. So, as I said previously, we have... let's go into third person. We have lots of leather. We've got these cows being bred, which I'm culling every so often. We got some diamonds from the mining expedition. We have some obsidian from ruined portal chests. So I took the liberty of making up 15 bookshelves, which is all you need to get max enchantments, and setting up, obviously, a very temporary enchanting table here, just so I can get to level 30 on what I need. But then again, you think, well, you have all these levels you can use for enchanting, but you don't really have very much diamonds, very good armor, or tools. I have no diamond armor or tools whatsoever, especially now that I've used 2 of the diamonds on this enchanting table, and that's a problem for me. So I've kind of put this off for far too long. I did a tiny bit of mining back in episode 2, I think, but now we need to do some more. So ahead of starting this video, I did a bit of preparation up here. What we're going to do is we're going to set up a proper mine. So a space that we can get down to deep slate level, get down to diamond level, and we can get what we need. It doesn't have to be iron, it doesn't have to be diamonds, it could be iron, it could be redstone, it could be anything. If you just dig at the right level, you should find it. So what I did is I marked out a chunk, and if you're unfamiliar with this, we just turn chunk borders on. If you know anything about Minecraft generation, chunks are very, very important parts of the world. And sometimes it's just nice or convenient to do things in chunks. So what I've started doing here is digging out this chunk, as you can see. So I have chunk borders shown. If I jump to this next chunk, these wireframe grid lines move across. And here's another chunk, here's another chunk. I think you're probably quite familiar with this if you're watching this video. So here, I've started digging down one chunk. I got down in the center. It's going to take me a long time to dig out 16 by 16, so I'll start in the middle with a 4 by 4. I left some of the ores behind, so I dug out some of the stone, and I came to a cave, which is where I stopped and decided I would start the filming, just to introduce what I'm doing. I'm going to leave all the ores that I find, specifically so that I can fortune them, because as I've said previously, I really don't like mining ores without fortune. It feels wrong. So I'm digging down. We're going to get down to deep slate level and go further. Hopefully we'll find some stuff on the way. Whenever I've done this in the past, whenever I've set up things like mines, you almost always come across a dungeon. They're just quite common features. And I would like to come across some kind of dungeon. Hopefully skeleton. Skeleton gives the best loot. I mean, you can't beat bones in terms of mob drops. If I was on Bedrock, I would be hoping for a zombie spawner, because on Bedrock you can use zombie spawners to do villager trading halls. But I've also said in here, I'm not going to focus too much on villager trading itself. So finding a zombie spawner is not the best thing I could find. Well, hopefully I'll get a skeleton. So we started off this hole. It's a lot of manual labor, and it's not going to be very interesting for anybody to watch, so I'm going to keep on going. See, I hit my first cave there, which wasn't too deep at all. I'm going to keep going, basically until I get to deep slate. I think I'll start with a 4 by 4, but eventually I want to turn this into a proper mine entrance, a whole chunk's worth of space, probably with something nice on the walls, just to give it some patterns and some textures. But basically, I mean, people make their mines in different ways. Some people will just dig down kind of diagonally, if you know what I mean. Like at a 45-degree angle, which is fine. I like the format of having just a drop, so you can drop down into water or whatever, and you can use ladders or vines or elytra, when you have that, just to go back to the surface. It's a very efficient way to get down. Takes a bit more time getting up, but still. I like the idea of water drops, so we're going to do one here and see how it turns out. So that was the intro. We'll mine today. We'll get down to deep slate, see what we find on the way. Hopefully something cool. And we will enchant some stuff by the end of the episode. And I'm hoping, really hoping, we get something decent. Hopefully on a pick, or maybe some depth strider, or respiration, or protection on a chest plate. Something that I can use to help me feel a bit safer. Fortune would be great. Efficiency would be great. But we'll just see. I'll bring you back when something is, or when there's something to show. Welcome back. So you can probably see from the screen that we found something, which is quite exciting, quite useful. You can see the glow of the diamonds there. So I was mining down in this 2x2 kind of area, just the center of the chunk basically, just to get down to the level that I wanted to. Of course, eventually came across a mine shaft. What are we on now? We're at now Y minus 34. Well into deep slate. And of course, I pop a few bits of deep slates and immediately see through to a mine shaft, which is great. Because mine shafts, I mean, by their nature, they expose lots of ores. One of these diamonds is exposed. I just dug around quite quickly there to see how much it was. This looks like it's a 7 vein, which is fantastic. Could not be happier. But I'm going to leave that until I get Fortune. At least Fortune 2. I don't mind Fortune 2 over Fortune 3, because it still gives you a benefit. Fortune 1 I think is not really worth it. But I found them, which is great. I'm going to leave them. I've already gone through a few bits of this mine shaft, just to kind of make it safe, basically. And lo and behold, just like I said at the start, we found a spawner. So a dungeon. There's cobblestone poking out. Do you think it was a skeleton spawner? No. My luck never holds out. So it's a spider spawner, which is okay. String can be useful. It's not great. In fact, even a zombie one would be better than a spider, I think. Spider killing systems are quite complex. Well, at least they're not complex, it's just that the spiders themselves, you can't channel them with the water in the same way as you can with the other mobs. So it just makes it a bit difficult, to be honest. But, you know, we might use it. But the more likely thing when you're in a mine shaft is that you find some of the cave spider spawners. So a normal spider spawner in a mine shaft is not the best. Because there's a high chance, I think, we'll find at least 2 cave spider spawners that can be activated together. And that will make a better source of string, spider eyes, whatever we might want. Maybe even XP. But yeah, it's okay. Obviously, I said I wanted to find a dungeon of some sorts. This is just not the type of dungeon I was hoping for. But we'll keep it. We're not going to break the spawner. That is actually sacrilegious. I don't know anybody that breaks spawners. It's the worst thing you can do. Because obviously they're irreplaceable blocks. But the diamonds, that's the main find. We got down to quite far into deep slate. Obviously this thing goes on. I just thought I'd get all the way down to the bottom. Found some more diamonds on the way. Get all the way down to the bottom and then bring you back just to show you what we saw. I'm taking a few of these resources. I quite like taking these supports. The fences in particular are quite useful. So I'll do a bit more of this. I'm going to go down to the bottom, make a few more pickaxes because 2 of mine have already broken. And then we'll mine out this chunk and start setting up down there for a larger scale mining operation. Hopefully we'll get enough diamonds. I'll leave the 7 vein, but we'll get some diamonds to start enchanting stuff. And I think a diamond pick is actually one of the first things we should try and enchant. But I've got to get 3 diamonds to make it in order to enchant it. So I'll probably take some of these down here. Anyway, I'll bring you back. Back again, everybody. Okay, so we're back at the surface now. You can probably see on my hotbar, I found 3 diamonds. So I made a diamond pickaxe, which is the first diamond tool that I have made. It's normally the first diamond tool that I would make in any world. So now, because we have 31 levels, we're going to roll the dice and see what happens. 31 is not a bad number to have, so I imagine most of you are familiar. I can never work this in third person. I have to go back into first person. I imagine most of you are quite familiar with how enchanting works. You get these 15 bookshelves you arrange in a certain way. There has to be one space between them and the enchanting table itself. And if you do this correctly, you can access high level enchantments. Now, the reason I have a book with me is if I don't like the enchantment that I see that's being offered for a certain tool, I can use the table on something else, like a book, and the next set of enchantments that will appear for the tool I want will be randomized again. So I use books. Some people might use things like wooden shovels or anything really to kind of reset the table, if you see what I'm saying. The reason I like books is that you can actually get enchantments that you may want for other things and store them on a book. If you're just going to use a random tool to reset the table, well, then you end up with a random tool with a random enchantment that you might not want to use. So I didn't want to do this without you. I thought I'd bring everybody back for the first time. So we're going to stick this on, see what we get for level 30. You can see it's highlighted here. And we put the lapis in the second slot and hover over and see. Unbreaking. I mean, that's not guaranteed to be good. Unbreaking is good, but it's a tad disappointing. So what we can do now, see what the bow would give us. We actually don't need the lapis at all. Bow says punch 2. I'm only putting in things that I actually want to use in their enchanted forms. So I could put in this and it will give me something, but I don't really want to spend 3 levels on an iron pickaxe because I want to start getting good tools that will last me a while. I have no diamond armor, so really the options I have are I could use a fishing rod actually. Let me quickly see what a spare fishing rod would make, because the one I'm using right now has nothing on it. And potentially, no, it's not in here. Potentially I might want to do a fishing rod. It's obviously quite unusual. Diamond tools are normally, where's my wood products? Oh, I have 3 sticks anyway. Okay. Diamond tools are normally what you would do, but we'll just see. Let's just see what happens. Unless it's a 3rd level enchantment like Lure 3 or Look of the Sea 3, then I'm not interested. I'm not going to do that unless it's a really good enchantment. Lure 2, yeah, that's not good enough for me. So the book, what we're going to do is we're going to do the book to reset the table. We do this if we use 3 levels, then our 31 will go down to 28 and we can't do any more. So we're just going to reset the table with a level 1 enchantment. Enchanter, there we go. So we've got the achievement, we've got the advancement, sorry. So now I have a book with piercing on, and we can put our tools back in these slots and see what will pop up again. Unbreaking on a bow, not great. Look at the C3, now that is interesting, because that's one of the enchantments that will really help me with the fishing, and then I can get better loot and better books from the sea. Look at the sea increases the treasures, the ratio of treasure to trash that you get when you're fishing. I would definitely consider this if the pick is no good. And what is a level 30 enchantment now? Still Unbreaking 3. Decisions. I think we'll take this. I really want either fortune or efficiency. I don't know whether to take this or do the rod, because with the rod I can fish up some more good books. And I'll do the pick. This is a kind of mining episode. I don't want to go back to fishing. For you guys, for the content, so to speak, we did fishing and building the pier last episode. I'll do this, we'll see what happens. If it is just Unbreaking 3, I will not be happy, because this is the minimum you can get. This shows you the one that you will get. Hopefully there's going to be some more. Okay, efficiency 4, that's okay. This is not a bad pick. Unbreaking 3, efficiency 4. It means I can mine the deep slate quite fast now, and Unbreaking means it will last quite a while. Mending would be great, but of course we're only going to play with mending if we can get it on books from fishing or from structures. So you know, this is not so bad. Let's see what this. So now we've done one, the table will reset again. Now it's stuck at the C2. That's a downgrade, obviously. Infinity. Ooh, very nice, very nice. So this is how you use the table. I'm sure most of you know this anyway, but still. Oh, Fortune 1. Fortune 1 is not really worth it in my opinion, but it only takes 2 XP. Yeah, you can kind of play the system a lot, so to speak. I have 27 levels. If you got 2 iron pickaxes with Fortune 1 on, you could just combine them, and then you could make Fortune 2. And the same as if you had 2 Fortune 2s, you could combine to make Fortune 3. So you can be clever, you can be kind of strategic with these enchantments. But I think this is good. It's not bad. It's not good. It's not great. It's not bad. It's okay. Any kind of fortune would have been nice, but that's the way it is. And this enchantment, these enchantments, I mean, they're completely random. You can't influence them. There are tricks you can do with string to block certain tables. Maybe we'll demonstrate that later. For now, actually, it's not such a bad pick. So we're going to go back to the mines, get some more diamonds, I think. I said that I wouldn't mind the diamonds too much without fortune, but that will mean that I can never really get any diamonds at all. Obviously, in a Minecraft world, which is infinite, there's also infinite diamonds. So we shouldn't be too worried about mining the ones that we find. It just feels wrong sometimes to do so. But let's go back down to it. Let's go back and get some more. Maybe we'll explore the mine shaft a bit more as well. That's an unexpected and nice surprise. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, welcome back. This is a new day for me. I've done a lot of work off camera, obviously continuing what we started with digging this hole. I've got down to bedrock level, as you can see. I do like the bedrock block. It's a block that you don't see very often, and I think it's cool to have it exposed. I've dug out a basic space here, which I will start mining with. As you can see, this is the 4x4 tunnel that we've dug. There's a water drop to allow us to get down safely. These ladders are temporary. I do want to decorate this entire kind of chute or shaft or whatever you'd call it in a nice way, but that will have to wait. I'll need materials to do this. For now, this is perfect for what I want, which is enabling me to go mining and get all the diamonds I need for all the tools I need. You can see in my hotbar, I've already made a sword. This is the pick that we made last episode. But I don't want to bore people with mining because it's kind of like, it's not that exciting until you find a diamond. What I wanted to do is actually go and have a look around the mine shaft, which is convenient. So we found this mine shaft as we were digging down. I've loaded up on some milk, as you can see. We've got a sword in case we come across anybody that we need to get rid of. A few more torches would be good, but I don't have the coal. I know you can pick up torches. You can see I've already gone through a few parts of the mine shaft just to kind of make them safe. The parts that we came through when we were digging down. But I want to go through a lot more of it because you can get a lot of good loot from mine shafts. I'll put this away because I don't have arrows with me. A golden apple was one thing I picked up in one of the mine shafts. Let's just go. Let's see what we find. Mine shafts are probably my second favourite structure. I said in the previous episode, this is one of the ones I have explored. Let's tell you what, let's start here then. So I've already explored some parts of it. We found that spawner in the previous part of this episode. So one of the videos I've already recorded. Oops, I knew that was going to happen. But the spawner was just... yes, that's on sand. Not on sand, it's on a torch. Yeah, the spawner was just a generic spider spawner, whereas it's the cave spider spawners that would be most useful. I don't have a shovel, do I? Yeah, so if I'm going to make an XP farm, which I might want to do, cave spiders are quite good. And if you're really lucky, and I've had this in the past, you know, I've played on different worlds and different servers and realms, and I've found some mine shafts where there's 3, maybe 4 cave spider spawners that are all within range of each other, and you can activate them all at once, and you can imagine that gives you great rates for XP. There are better ways to get XP. This is not the optimum way you would choose, but we're still fairly early game actually. So I guess I'll take anything, because I do want to continue to enchant. You know, we did our first enchantments earlier, got some good ones on the pickaxe actually, but we need levels to continue. Okay, let's replace it. We need the levels, and we may have to do some XP grinding just to get those levels. I'll try and get this. Cobwebs may be useful. For decoration at least. I don't really use them for... well, there's no need to make traps in my single player world, but if you watch any of these PvP servers, cobwebs are useful for trapping people. Okay, so this was a tiny part of the mine shaft that I just hadn't explored. I've already gone down there, I've got most of what is down there. So we're going to go to the upper part and have a look around there. You can still see there's diamonds I've just left exposed, such as there. I do not want to mine them until I have fortune. That's basically what I'm thinking of right now. I want to get fortune, and then... what's that down there? I guess it's another way. Then we can mine them. It's just... diamonds are... they're not rare. I mean... they're not rare. You can find many of them. We found many of them so far in these mine shafts. But they're worth... I'll take that. It's worth using fortune. Like, I don't need them in their current state, so I would rather leave them until I have fortune on either an iron or a diamond pickaxe, and I will make the most of the diamonds. Most of you probably know, before the recent update with the armor trims, diamonds were getting quite, not useless, but once you'd made all the armor that you wanted, once you had your villager trading halls, once you had loot from the end, you didn't really need diamonds anymore. And you know, there was a bit of discord in the community about, well, these are, you know, you found some diamonds, ooh, yay, kind of thing. It's just not important anymore. And then armor trims came out, and it was just absolutely revolutionary. I do know there's a chest here. I'm just lighting this place up first. I don't want to get caught up. I'm going to look inside the chest in a second. I think the addition of armor trims was just absolutely revolutionary, and it gave people it gave them a very, very strong motivation to go and get diamonds again. And it would be an incredible aim to get all of the armor trims, all of the possible netherite. You know, so you can make collections, obviously, of all the possible trims. And oh, what's that book? Ooh, interesting. That would go well on the fishing rod that I started making. If I remember, the fishing rod we used had Look of the Sea, or did it not? That's a good book. I like that book. I will definitely take that book, and we'll definitely use that book. I'm very happy. Okay, this was a tiny part of the mine shaft. I think I've been down here, or this is just... that just leads to a lower level. Yeah, I have been down there. That connects to the lower level that I was just exploring. Anyway, yeah, diamonds, armor trims, very useful. So there is a reason to actually care about maximizing the amount of diamonds that you find. Maybe I should just make a way to get around here. See, all this deep slate that you end up collecting. Deep slate is great for building. I love it as a block. There's this meme with the Scarlet Witch and the Thanos meme, where it's like, you took everything from me, and Thanos is like, I don't even know who you are. And it's so Blackstone. There's a Blackstone block saying, you took everything from me, and it's deep slate saying, I don't even know who you are. Blackstone's a great block, but it is quite dark, and it's hard to use extremely dark blocks, except in certain circumstances. Deep slate is dark, but it's nowhere near as black as Blackstone. And of course you have the many different varieties of deep slate which look really good. Cobbled can work quite well. The polished, the deep stone bricks, the deep stone tiles, they're all really nice blocks, and I'll probably use a lot of deep slate in some builds. It would make sense actually to outline the drop chute we just made with some kind of deep slate block, because now of course we have an abundance of it. Whenever you go on these kind of mining trips, you end up with a load of deep slate, so it's convenient, and also it fits the theme. You know, it's a drop chute down into the mines, and there's a skeleton. So why wouldn't we decorate it with materials that you find at depth within the Minecraft world? You can see that I'm collecting almost everything I come across here. This is why I like mine shafts. These rails are useful if you ever do farms with mine carts. And if we do intend to have some kind of subway system or railway network or something that's connecting different points in our world, rails might be one way to do this. There's another thing I haven't talked about actually, which relates to other stuff we have discussed. So I mentioned about how I wasn't going to dupe and this kind of stuff. I'm not going to repeat these things ad nauseum. You're probably bored of me talking about them now. There's one thing I hadn't mentioned, and that's the nether roof. And just like duping, the nether roof is not available to bedrock players. Where you can get up there, not that I ever have, but I know you can actually get onto the nether roof, but you can't build anything. And therefore, it makes it kind of redundant. I'll go down there later, I just want to check out this level first. And yeah, I know from watching Java players, a lot of people have lots of builds on the nether roof and they find it as a safe way to travel, and once again I think it's not really a way that the developers intended the game to be played. I believe that actually doing stuff on the nether roof is basically a glitch. It's certainly not intended gameplay. And personally I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's clearly not a part of the Minecraft world you're supposed to be able to get onto. There's a reason that there's a reason the bedrock is unbreakable. So just getting onto the roof I think is a bit cheaty by itself. It's just opening up. This room, I think this room is the starter room of the mine shafts. I think because they're procedurally generated, like all structures are in Minecraft. So they start at a point. I think that room is the starting point. I read into kind of like I watched a few videos, I read into the generation mechanics of structures and even the landscape itself. At one point I watched an interesting video on that. I find it quite fascinating. I think the more you know about how a game works, I'm not going to say the better you are at playing it, but it certainly helps when you're playing the game. So I like to learn about this stuff. I believe that large empty room is the first room that generates when a mineshaft decides to spawn. See, this is weird as well. It's like this floor is not fully formed. Obviously there's many peculiarities about spawning in Minecraft. You can get these absolutely bizarre spawning situations where you have structures on top of structures and everything else. It's just absolutely crazy. Like you get more diamonds. See, the problem with leaving these diamonds for fortune is... Oh, that's where I was before. I might not remember where all of them are, so it's probably not like I'm going to come back for all of them. Oh, he's got a good bow. Let's just leave that one. Was it this way? Yes, it was that way. Yeah, I'm probably not going to come back for all of them, so I should just take some of them while I get the chance. See, these mine shafts are so big. It's very hard to explore them all. Oh, now I've run out of... I have to keep making stone axes. Because I just don't have the iron on me. Yeah, you get these weird spawning things where there's lots of structures intersecting, and you can find specific videos on them on YouTube, and they just look bizarre. And when I was starting to learn the game, on Bedrock, it used to be the way that strongholds would almost always generate beneath villages. So when you throw your Eyes of Ender to find the stronghold portal, I would basically follow the eye until I got to a village, and then I would throw some more just to check, and lo and behold, they would go straight down into the earth. And I thought this was a design feature. Apparently it's not necessary, it's just very common due to the way that some of these structures, they read the code contained within the seed. And well, I guess I shouldn't try and explain things like this because I'm not fully versed in it myself, but I think it's not a coincidence that some structures like strongholds and villages form in association with each other. I guess that's the way it's best to say. More diamonds. Okay, I'm going to get these diamonds. This is exactly what I'm just saying. If I leave them, I'm probably going to forget about them. So we'll go back, get this other one, which was here. Yep. So we've got big veins that I've already left identified that we can use fortune on, but I can't leave all these, so I have to just take some. I will feel a lot safer when I have diamond armor, that's for sure. How many is this? This looks like it's a 5 vein. 5? Yeah, it will be 5. 4 on the bottom, 1 on the top. Okay, iron pick. See, if you have fortune, you can get, what is it, up to 4 from a single block. You know, it's an amazing enchantment. Right, so we got 5 diamonds. We've got our enchanted pick. We need to get other stuff. I'll stop the recording here just because I've been talking quite a while. I'll bring you back if I find anything else. Otherwise, I'll just go through these mine shafts, see what I can find. Yeah, so I guess I'll see you soon. Okay, I thought I'd bring everybody back. I've got my chest open here. I've got stuff in my inventory. This is basically the haul that we've had from the mine shafts. I've gone through just what I think is a fraction of them, really. These things they're so extensive. If you ever look at them in things like creative or spectator mode, you can really see how far they go. And when you look at them in spectator mode, for example, you just think, well, you know, they're so windy with so many levels, and you would never really think it's possible to explore it all. There's definitely parts I haven't been to yet. I've seen them. Even when I think I've finished, there's probably parts I will have missed. And there's normally some decent loot in these places, which is why I quite like finding them. I've got a lot of redstone. I've had to make it into blocks just to fit it inside this chest. I ran into a few more cave spider spawners. I got some heads from them. Lots of deep slate, which is good. Lots of wood, which is also quite good. These fences can be quite useful. And oak is just, you know, it's a very generic, it's a good building wood. So it's always good to have extra oak planks. I was saving the cobwebs with my shears. I could just convert it into string, but of course cobwebs can't be crafted. So ideally you would preserve them if you could, because you can get string from spiders and you can't get cobwebs sustainably. Got some more seeds. I've already got beetroot and pumpkin, I think. Some glowberries, which would be very useful. They're really good for decoration and for lighting. Some rails, some of the weird rails I never really use. I don't know anybody who actually uses detectors and activator rails. A name tag, which is good. You get them from fishing, but still. I was picking up some of the gold I saw, not all of it, but I thought I'd get some, because when we go into the nether, we'll need some gold. And also the lure 2 buck that we got, which is, it's okay. It's better than nothing, so I'll definitely take it. Now, as well as all this, you can see in my hotbar, I've got a diamond sword, I've got the diamond pick from before, and I keep doing that, I keep moving in the wrong direction. I've got a diamond helmet, chest plate, and leggings. I'm keeping the gold boots, which have depth strider, because that's a good enchantment to have. But what I wanted to do now is head back up to the surface and see what we can get on either the helmet, the chest plate, the sword, or the leggings. I don't know if I have any spare diamonds after this. I picked up some of the ones that I saw, left some behind. I really should see if I can get fortune on a pick, even if it's iron, so I can go around and get the rest of this stuff. The rain, it's so good. Oh, it must be night as well. Okay, I'll sleep, go back up my ladder, a long way to the surface, and we'll go back to the enchanting table. So, back up top, back at the enchanting table. You can probably see some vines right next to me actually. When I was making the bookshelves for the enchanting setup, I grew a jungle tree. It was quite easy. It's an easy way to get a lot of wood, obviously. Better than spruce if you don't want your grass turning to podzol, of course. So I made sure to replant after getting the saplings. It seems to have grown quite tall, as we were right underneath, just over there, just on the top of that hill. Did I show people where the dig site was? I think I did. Obviously recording these segments on different days, so I've forgotten whether I really showed where this was positioned. So we're right up here, right on this hill. Ideally I would dig this whole chunk out. If you remember, we can see the chunk boundaries, and I've cut right to the edge of these chunks. For no particular reason, I just think it's kind of cool to have this kind of thing contained within a single chunk. But yeah, it's back to the enchanting setup. So we're right up there for the mine. It's very easy. So we've been right underneath this, and it's kept the chunks on the surface loaded, which is why all the sugarcane has grown, all the crops have grown, and the tree has grown. So I used some spare diamonds. Oh, the sun's not going down, is it? To make some boots, an extra pickaxe, and a shovel. And what we want to see is the kind of enchants we could get on any of them. And we'll choose the best enchant, the best level 30 enchant, of course. And we'll take that. We've only got 30 levels, so we can't do what we did last time and do a kind of dummy enchant. We don't have that capacity. So we'll just take what we can get now. These are really intrusive. I think they're growing as I'm talking. We'll take what we can get now. I mean, enchanting is going to be a big part of the game. I'm not going to bring you in every time I try and enchant anything. But I thought for these first few tools it would be fun. So let's just see. Put the sword in. Oh, what's it say? Knockback 2. Pass. The pick. Please be fortune. Unbreaking. I think we tried this previously, didn't we? And it didn't come up with unbreaking. What we're going to need to do now is put something else in and recycle the enchantments to see if we can get a fortune on that pick. Unbreaking. Ah, yeah, it's the same enchants for a pick and a shovel. Protection 3. These are not good enchants for any of these. Maybe an iron pick. I should probably try an iron pick, because you can get different levels of enchantment depending on the type of tool. Let's quickly do the iron pick. Oh no, it looks like it's the same. Maybe I was misinformed. I thought it changed by the type of tool as well. The book. Sharpness. These are just... I mean, sharpness 3 is okay, but it's just not good. They're not fantastic enchants. So what to do? We could chance knockback. Hope we get something good with it. Fortune 1. Fortune 1 is not worth the price. I could chance this as well and see if there's something else on it with Unbreaking. That's probably the best move right now. Because the boots, they're not good. For the boots, you want Depth Strider. You really want to make sure you have Depth Strider, which is why I'm keeping my gold ones on. Ah, the helmet. I didn't... Ah, that's so silly of me. I didn't check my armor. Oh, it's actually dark. Okay, I have to go and sleep, because if I got blown up there, I would not be happy. Because I would have if I got blown up at that point, I would have lost all my levels, and I couldn't have done anything. So that would have been good content, for sure, but I would not have been happy. Okay, so we got to make sure there's nothing around that could come and blow me up. Looks that way. I almost forgot that I'd made these, so yeah, what we need to do, there's absolutely no creepers are there, is check these as well. So for a helmet, Aqua Affinity, excellent. Oh, Respiration, this is good. Aqua Affinity, I like it. I would take Aqua Affinity or Respiration. Unbreaking 3, that's not the best. Unbreaking 3. So I'm tied now between the helmet, Aqua Affinity, or just gambling with the diamond pick. And I think because we have a diamond pick, I'm going to do the helmet. So hopefully it's more than just Aqua Affinity, because that would not be good. Let's see what happens. Oh, Unbreaking 3. I mean, that's okay. It's okay. Could be better. So I'll stick that on. That's disappointing. I mean, the helmet, you can get protection, you can get any type of protection. Respiration, Aqua Affinity is good, but let's see what these cycled enchants are. So Blast 4, that's okay. Unbreaking 3, what about the book? Oh, perfect, look at that, Feather Falling 4. I think we're going to have to do that unless there's something exceptional on the other ones. So we can guarantee Feather Falling 4 from the enchantment table. It's not on the boots. We can get it for the boots. Efficiency 3. It's good, but it's not perfect. Oh, ooh, Looting 2. That's good. And let's just see... Efficiency. Yeah, unless I can guarantee Fortune 2 or higher, then if I don't have the levels, I'm not going to risk enchanting these picks. I think we're going to have to go with the book next time. And it won't be hard to get back up to 30 levels. We just need to either do a bit of grinding or just go and mine some more ores. That's normally the way you can increase your levels, at least at this early stage. I'm going to put this on for now because we're not going underwater when we're down in the mines. I'll probably go back into the mines and do some more work. I'm not sure whether to end the episode here or do some more stuff and keep it in. Currently it's not as long as the first few have been, but I don't want to constrain myself to always making hour-long videos, because it takes a long time for people to watch. So we kind of did a bit of exploration of the mine shaft. We could do some more. I'm in 2 mines, I think. IRL, I will be away for 14 days on a work trip. Some people who watch this channel who've already commented on my videos, people I know in real life, so they know what I do. I describe myself as a geologist. I'm a geologist in an academic setting, so I work, I teach about geology, teach about earth sciences, and obviously there's practical things involved with that. We run field trips to certain parts of the country. I'm in the UK, and yes, next week I'm leaving for a field trip So I won't be able to play, won't be able to record, but that's fine. I also wanted to mention that, oh, these guys again. I've had a lot of great comments on the videos so far, and if I'm not mentioning them on the subsequent video that appears, that's because I'm kind of recording about 2 episodes in advance. So sometimes I'm very appreciative of the comments that I receive, but I won't acknowledge them because the videos, the parts of the videos that are recorded that come out next have already been recorded. I'm not explaining that very well. Okay. I'm going to get a noise outside my room as well. The kids are trying to call me. This is not great. Let me just end this segment here. Maybe we'll do some more afterwards. Okay, and we're back for what I think might be the final section of this episode. I mean, the episode was focused on making our drop shaft mine, doing some enchanting. I got back up to level 30. I just went back into the mine shafts that I'd found down there, and mined some more ores, actually, things like iron, lapis, redstone. Redstone seems to give surprisingly high amounts of XP, which is good for me. And I made enough iron for an anvil, which is going to be a very important item. And I'm very pleased to have one of these. So the reason why iron farms are so useful, because iron is often such demand. Okay, so we're back here. I forgot to check the enchantments on the bow and the fishing rod. So we're going to stick these in. If you remember, for me it was a few hours ago. For you, just a few minutes, I'm sure. If you remember, the book was giving us feather falling, I believe. If we can get something better. Power 3. See, that's not great because, remember, we fished up a power 4 bow, which is better than power 3. So let me take this out in case I click it by accident. What's on the rod? Unbreaking. See, these enchants, they're not being my friend. They're not going my way. Unbreaking 3 on the rod. We have that already. Have mending. And I have that lore book, which will make the process go quicker. So they, to me, are not great. I thought one final thing we could try, which I've seen people doing in the speedrunning community, is dropping string. So you can see now we can get level 30 enchants. There's nothing in the way of these bookshelves. They can all communicate with the enchanting table. So if I put some string down here, it's going to block this bookshelf from talking to the enchanting table, because you can't have anything in the middle. So now if we put these items back in, we can't reach level 30 anymore. We can only reach level 24. It doesn't matter then how much XP you use. This is just the minimum level you need to have to get the enchantment you want. So by blocking off some of the tables, so happens, I think, doesn't seem to be working very well, I think we can change the enchantments that are being offered. But I can't quite remember. Yeah, it seems to be the same as before. See, I've seen people do this. Maybe it's a version thing. Maybe it only works in certain versions of the game. That would make a lot of sense. I don't know. See, this has changed. Obviously, it's decreased aqua affinity. Let's see what's on the rod. Breaking 2. You see, now these enchantments just won't be worth it because they're just so low. So you can only do this so many times before it's actually worth it. No. Yeah. I think once is probably the most you would want to do it. Take both these off. And now we're back to feather falling, which I think is good. I believe it doesn't go on the boots if you stick the boots in. No, protection 3. Okay, it's a bit of a gamble. See, efficiency 3 is just not good for a pig. I'm going to take feather falling, which is a good enchantment. And what else is on the book? Something good, perhaps? Something at all? Just feather falling 4. That is terrible for a level 30 enchantment. That's terrible. Sometimes you can get 4 or 5 enchantments on the same book. Oh, Oh, this enchanting is not going my way. Level 30 is not hard to get to, but you expect to get some nice surprises. Let's see what the next set are on various things. On Breaking 3, okay. Lore 2. Power 4. That's a good bow. Combined with that, you get Power 5, which is the maximum power level you can have on a bow. Oh, Looting 3. That is brilliant. So we have to get Looting 3. I suspect that will be the one to go through. Oh, of course this would happen. Of course. So there's a bow enchantment, a sword enchantment, and a pick enchantment that I would want to have. Fortune 3. Well, we have to get this next. This is just what we have to do, because we've been talking about Fortune 3 all episode. So I think we'll end it here. I'm going to mine back up, get back to level 30. I will enchant this with Fortune 3. Hopefully we get some other stuff on it. I'll probably go back down, get all the diamonds I've left behind, and then we'll have quite a lot to play with in the future. And we will want to collect quite a few of these netherite sets with the armor trims. I do intend to go searching for some armor trims sometime soon, and it would be great to get some colour on the armor, get some good looking armor. Netherite looks quite good itself, but I don't think I'm quite at the level of getting netherite soon. We've got the feather falling, that's good. Yeah, I think that's it for enchanting. So I think I'll end stuff there. I always get this upside down thing wrong. So we're nearly full leather. Not full leather, full diamond. Not leather, we were full leather on day one, although we probably never made leather armor. I'll stop rambling. Okay, well, thank you for joining me again. I thought this was quite a fun episode. It's very important to make a mine and be able to get down to diamond level. It's not just the diamonds that you need, sometimes it's the deep slate, sometimes it's everything else. So, and I'm quite liking how my little area is coming along. The fishing shack from the last episode. I've got a bit more decoration outside. I've hung up some of these glowberries that I found. There's one, perfect. Hung up some glowberries I found in the mine shafts, and they will be great for decoration in the future. So, I think it's time to say goodbye. Thank you if you're still watching, and join me for the next one. As I said in the previous segment, it might not be as regular as I have been putting them out. I've been trying to get things out maybe once a week, but with this trip I'm going on soon, that might delay things. But I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Thank you again. Goodbye.